Welcome you to another video. In this video, Prophet Uebert Angel, he said this is his last response to Apostle Arome and Co, who speaks against miracle money. And in the video, went on to talk about Pastor Paul Enenche when he performed miracle money in his church, and Pastor Chris, what Pastor Chris said on miracle money. So let's go straight to this video as we watch.
I've been attacked so many times by real apostles and false apostles, especially false. So I went before God and said, God, you told me to move this vision. He said, but I told you only to respond when it comes to the miracle, not to anyone attacking you. He said, what you thought was an attack on you was an attack on my power. He said, but I told you that I would never forgive anyone who ascribes the power of the Holy Spirit to the power of the devil. He said, if you say something against me, you will be forgiven. But if you say something against the power of the Spirit, because they say that this power is from Beelzebub, the king of lies, when it was my power. And I said I would never forgive anyone who ascribes the power that the Holy Spirit has and says it is of the devil. Said, your problem, he was reprimanding me, God. Just yesterday, I went before God. I said, God, you speak to me audibly. You tell me when I say audibly, I know what I mean by audibly. I said, you speak to me. How is this man, who is a young man who just started ministry? Yes, they say, oh, he has been there for years. He has been there for years to you. But to some of us, we have actually gained the higher ranks in the spirit. These are young guys who are just starting. They're just coming into the ministry. In age young, in ministry young, in rank young. Very low in the spirit. But you see what is happening is, if a man comes out and says lies and base everything that they say on the pretext of morality, they say we have high morals. Christians are so duped and so stupid that they think, since you think and you claim to be moral, you hear from God, when nobody is hearing from God. It is out of jealousy, out of looking for popularity. And God said, the problem you did was to not act like his father. I put you in the ranks of fathers, and these apostles are coming up as young ones that you should actually have seen their mistakes and forgiven them and kept quiet, but you responded. Said you did not act like a father when they are young ones that are coming up. They are children to you. So as you are hearing me now, this is the last to respond to these young people. So my advice to all the people that are in my ranks spiritually, don't respond. These are young people. They are trying to make it, so they can't make it without mentioning your name. Imagine our last census was 2.8 million registered members with over 670 branches that the Lord started. I only started one branch in Manchester. That's it. No other branch. Other branches just came up, and prophetess would go, establish them. They are starting every day. Even me to say 200, 670, I said 580, and I was told, no, it's no longer. Cell groups are in their thousands. Now imagine, I did not know it until God said, son, I made you a father to a dispensation, but you're responding to new people coming on the scene who are younger than you spiritually, younger in rank. And some of them I've called them, and some I haven't. And some I've called them, but they have already corrupted their own ranks by trying to correct every man of God, because they are thinking they are fathers in the apostolic, when I never sent them to be a father. So I've never given anyone the ministry to correct my church. Never. Said, I've never given anyone the ministry to say this man of God is wrong, this one is right, this one is right, this one is good, this one is bad. He said, I never gave them, and I never gave you that commission. Said, I said one thing: each man before his master, he stands or he falls. Said, I never did that. You know, sometimes when people talk and you know what they are saying is not correct. Someone said, yeah, you know, this happened and this happened and this, and I'm like, what? So God told you a lie. You know, when these people start talking too much, you know they're lying. You actually tell that they've just said what? Oh, his company is gone. He was fired and I'm not fired. Then you look at it and say they were told by God this statement. Then you know they're not talking to God. I knew they were false, but I didn't know that they really are false in the sense that they are fake, not that they think God has spoken. See, there's a difference to think you have heard from God and to formulate a lie so you say you heard from God. If I come to you and I say, yes, you stole from me 5 days ago, God has told me this, do you know you can leave the church? Because you know, look, I wasn't even here. I was in South Africa. I never touched anything concerning this man. I was in my room for 5 days praying. What did I steal? That's when you realize this guy does not hear from God. He lied. So sometimes be awake. Realize one thing: they are children. And when children do wrong, we as fathers should come up and say, he's still a child, he will grow. But I had one mistake. I responded because I was told by God to respond concerning his miracle which he had created, which was miracle money. He said, create it, say it, do it. And now Pastor Paul Aneche has done it. Pastor Chris has said, you have not seen anything yet. These people who oppose miracle money don't know the code. Say they lack the spiritual code. And that lines up with what God spoke to me, that they are still children. They're trying to grow up, but I never send them to be fathers. But they want desperately to become fathers. And don't be fooled by a man who says, I'm moral, so I know what God has spoken. No, 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 no. Zero is not holiness. Zero is never holiness. Personal purity is self-righteousness. It's you who thinks you are holy. There are people I've undermined before, and God would come to me and say, son, that person you undermined, I sent them. I say, you mean that guy? Yes.
Thank you for this video. If watching this video, I believe you have been blessed. I believe you've learned miracle money is real. Don't be deceived. Thank you for watching. So see you in the next video.